Alright, well, where I'm back up in my workbench here. Basically, it's just a lid, top of a laundry basket. It works, but, gotta do what you gotta do. Now, like I said in the last segment where we were doing the primer for the Dash 9 and putting the first coat of orange onto the GP50, I told you I would show you the other works I've done. All of them have been done with spray paint. Now, two of the works I've done so far have sold. The first one was a Terminal Railroad Association of St. Louis GP38-3 in the new paint scheme. I sold that for about $185 at the Boeing show here in St. Louis. But I still have plenty of other works to show, like you can see behind me in front of the fish tank right there. I'm going to show those to you last because those are my favorites that I've done so far. Now, the earliest piece that I still have is an Afteron Blue Box C44-9W. I did it for the Katy. This one took me about a week and a half to do. I used Tester's dark green paint, which is basically a match for the Katy John Deere green. This was started out as a Southern Pacific locomotive, number 8102, I believe. Now the stripes, that's not paint, that's decals. That took the longest. I would have to say it took me about just a week alone for the decals. But with the results, I am really happy with those results. This is one that I really don't want to part with, but if someone offers me the right money, it's theirs. Now, this next piece is when I start to really like to do the modeling the real thing. This is a non-powered Afteron F45 that I did for the I&M Rail-Link number 393. This was using a microscale set. I forget the number, but it's got the second generation Washington Corp logo right here. Now, the decal set was not set up for the F45s with the numbers, so I had to cut out each number. And then the numbers are 2 on the number board, 2 on the cab, and along the long hood. I thought it was going to take longer than it did, but it took me about 2.5 hours to get it all decaled once it was painted. This locomotive started out as a Burlington Northern unit, and when I bought it on the internet and was told that all parts are there, no, they're not. It's missing the horn and the handrails. Guy said he was going to send them, but has yet to send them. This next one I did because I started getting a fascination for this railroad personally. Penn Central GP50. What do you want, dog? Sorry, my dog's over here. Here. Say hi, Jarvis. Okay, go on over there. Now, I used the red and white PC logo, which is one of the second least common. The first one would be a white P with an orange C. I've only seen one unit with that, and that was a GP35. But it's relatively simple, just black, yellow handrail, vertical parts. Everything else is black. Custom number 3579, and there's little lettering underneath there. It says Rose Lake. That's the maintenance-based lettering for the engine. Rose Lake was the Penn Central yard in East St. Louis. But, hey, I love St. Louis, so obviously it's got to be a St. Louis engine. This one here, I kind of rushed through, but I also didn't. It's a Canadian Pacific GP38-2, correct road number 3062. This is the one where I put all the lettering on. It's got the fire extinguisher logo on the front, if you can see that. The number boards, the hood, the lettering and class numbers on there. But I didn't notice this until about a month after. I only painted one set of steps. white when they should all be. I mean, you can see there's no paint on the steps there or there, just on the engineer side of the steps. I still gotta fix that. And this unit here is this unit here caused me quite the heartache. It's the Diamond E, not Diamond IR. I don't know why I got Diamond IR sitting behind me. SD40-2 6359, the Mount Rushmore unit. Now, when I first posted this on a Facebook group, it got to the point where I wanted to quit. I wanted to toss everything I've done in the trash. I am putting emphasis, hate rivet counters. They started attacking me like crazy on this just because the blue was 2 shades too dark. And they just basically almost destroyed this whole thing for me. I hate rivet counters. I don't want to deal with rivet counters. They are, especially those that attack people because of the work I do. And I've had to block several people because of that, and it's just not fun. One of them told me to, hey, I'm not trying to be an ass. Your work sucks. Throw it in the trash and let me help you. You know what? I'm not going to take that. If you don't like my work, keep it to yourself. If not, don't even bother messaging me. I'll just block you. But I really like how this one came out. I got a lot of support. I'm pouring out support. The only thing wrong is that when I was clear coating it, I accidentally put a little bit of blue on there, thinking that was actually the clear coat, but I managed to rescue it as best as I could with the yellow paint, and it came out pretty good. This one here, I like this plane. I like this particular paint scheme. So basically this one's going on my shelf, and the Dash 9 that I'm doing in this same scheme is going to be for sale. This one here, it's just a GATX Leasing SD40-2. I love this unit. I mean, I had some help from my wife's cousin, Tristan. He says he helped, when in reality, all he did was just sit by my side and just watch. He says he helped, but, you know, I'll give it to him. He's 4 years old, and he just loves trains. So, hey, I'll just say that he helped. Now, this is a what if that I did. It's an Afteron SD40T-2 with an 88-inch short hood. It's, as you can tell, it's painted for the family line system. Clinchfield, to be exact. The story is that Clinchfield had ordered 25 SD40T-2s because they had a mountainous route. And it would have made perfect sense, except for when the Family Lines merger happened, the Family Lines canceled the order and changed it to SD40-2 standards. Now, this is a what if of, hey, what if they didn't cancel the order and they got tunnel motors? I'm pretty sure they would look pretty good, damn good in the CSX YN3 Dark Future, dark blue and navy blue and gold. I think they would look good. This locomotive has been sold. It was sold a few weeks ago, but I've been so busy at work that I haven't had a chance to send it out. Jim, if you're watching this, I haven't forgotten about you. It's going out Monday. It's Friday right now, so. Boom. This is Frisco SD40-2. It was the first multicolor job I did. I used a microscale set, Frisco engines, but the paint itself is what's interesting. This is the exact color of reddish orange that the Frisco used. And I didn't even get it at Hobby Shop. I plunked down $9 for a can of this paint at Napa Auto Parts. The color is Chevrolet Engine Red. It's a reddish orange. Can't get it at a hobby shop. You have to get it at an auto parts store. Now, the can itself is like that big, and you can paint a whole engine block with it. Obviously, that's not an engine block, that's a model train. But like I said, Mr. Clamo, if you're watching this, I'm getting ready to pack it up, and it's going out to you. I've been busy at work, plus I wanted to show it off in this video. Now we're going to get to the models that are behind me. The first one is an SD40-2. It's the first time I wanted to do a patch job. So I had after doing the clinch field, I wanted to do an SD40-2, but instead of doing a true family lines, I did a CSX patch. As you can tell, I painted the ends yellow with the CSX logo, and per CSX practices, I put the CSXT lettering where it would have said either SBD, CRR, L&N, or etc., etc. It didn't take me long to do that. About from start to finish, I would have to say, 3-4 hours clean paint. I didn't prime this one. It was an undecorated, so bam, went on the gray, then the decals. I really like how it turned out. I just wish those headlight pieces would go in more. Put that one back where it was. This one here, a Rock Island C430. No, it's not a Bowser. It's not a MHC, or IHC, I should say. It's not Aether. It's none of those. Believe it or not, this is the company that made this model, other than the paint scheme, is often considered toy-like. This is a Taiko. Yes, Taiko. Started off as a bicentennial 1776 engine. It was one of the thousands they produced, but the only one that I've actually had that had handrails. It works, and it was actually rebuilt by a friend of mine. She runs perfect. Matter of fact, it runs better than all these Athens down here. But then again, hey, they're all dummies, so obviously it runs better. This one here started off as a Burlington Northern. This is one of the favorites that I've done. Duluth, Misabi, and Iron Range. SD9 number 123. That's why I keep saying DM and IR when I mean DM and E for the -9. Tamiya maroon paint, microscale decals. All in all, about hour and a half, 2 hours to paint and decal. That's not including the downtime where the paint's got to set up and dry. Hey, fishies. I love fish keeping. This 5-gallon tank with tropicals, but you're here for the trains, not the fish. This one here, I really like this one, mainly because I love patch jobs. I took the Penn Central decal set again. That's enough to do 9 engines per decal sheet. Well, what I did was this was a Union Pacific, painted it black, no primer. This was super detailed by a friend of mine who also does custom painting. I'm going to go ahead and mention him. His name is Dan Arnold. He does some amazing work. You check him out. Anyway, back to this. It's a Conrail Penn Central patch GP40-2. Dan added the MU hoses, relocated the horn. Yeah, there it is, right next to the exhaust, right there, and did the handrails. Not sure if you can see them. Yeah, not sure if you can see them there, but he did. And this may be a dummy, But it's got everything except the gears in the trucks. It's got the motor, drive shaft, but no gears and no power pickup. So whoever wanted this, they can easily turn it back into a power. But this one took me about, I don't know, 4 hours to do. Mainly because I kept wanting to get the patch perfectly to where you can clearly see it was a Penn Central. I mean, just look at that. You can see where the PC logo was and where it said Penn Central. And you can see it there too. This was a real model. I looked at pictures to do this properly. Anyway, I just took up 16 minutes of this video time, so let's go back downstairs and get back started on that -9. How about that? All right?